Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ex-Potomac. How's everybody doing?
Great.
It's great to see you guys here. I'm going to talk to you about three things today. The first one is the next big problem. The second thing I'm going to talk to you about is the next big opportunity. And the third thing I'm going to talk to you about is the methodology by which we're going to solve this next big problem and seize this next big opportunity. But before I get into that, how many of you are familiar with the Gutenberg clause? It's okay if you're not, I just made it up. Yeah. But the Gutenberg clause says that any conference that even has vaguely notion of being connected to social media, advertising, PR, marketing, whatever, one speaker, at least in one session, must bring up the printing press. I would like to be that speaker. I would like this to be that session. All right? So to understand the next big problem, I think it's instructive to kind of go back in time. So let's do that. 1436. Johann Gutenberg, this ne'er-do-well from Germany, invents this thing called the printing press and changes everything. He combines the wine press, the conveyor belt, and the movable typeset, the plate, and creates this thing that replicates books in a, faster than ever before. I mean, prior to that, it would take a year plus for a scribe to transcribe a book. Prior to 1436, books are not important, right? The knowledge contained in those books is what's important. Books and the knowledge was available only to the privileged. It was available to the clergy and to the rich. And then Gutenberg changed everything. He democratized access to knowledge. Gutenberg doesn't get enough credit for starting the Industrial Revolution, which officially started like 300 years later. But the reason the Industrial Revolution started was because of Gutenberg. Not only did he provide the model for the Industrial Revolution, all the machines that were invented were essentially modeled after the printing press, right? It's three existing inventions combined in a new way. The device that started the Industrial Revolution was three existing inventions combined in a new way. It was a mine in England. They used ball bearings and a line to get buckets of water out of the mine. It's exactly the same model, right? But more importantly, what Gutenberg did is he enabled ordinary men to acquire knowledge, thus prompting the Industrial Revolution 300 years later. Ordinary men had interest in making work easier. Clergy didn't have interest in making work easier. Rich, privileged class didn't have any interest in making work easier. Ordinary men did. So Gutenberg democratized access to information, to knowledge, thus spurring the Industrial Revolution, thus spurring the technological revolution that we're in right now. So the reason we're here is not only Jeff, but also Gutenberg. All right? Now, he solved one problem, access to information, but he revealed the next problem, right? He enabled ordinary men to acquire knowledge, but the new problem was revealed in the 500 years between the invention of the printing press and now. Publishing your knowledge. Right? Between 1436 and 1999, publishing your knowledge became available only to the privileged. If you wanted to start your own magazine, a newspaper, TV station, radio station, you had to be in the privileged class. Ordinary men didn't have access to this until 1999, when a company, Blogger.com, and then a bunch of other ones, Tumblr, WordPress, and so on, they solved this outstanding 500-year-long problem. They enabled ordinary men like us to publish our knowledge. That was the next monumental step in human history, if you ask me. The first one being the printing press. Right? All of a sudden, all of us, what was Clay Sharkey, right? Here comes everybody. Right? All of us gained the ability to publish our knowledge. While solving this problem, Blogger.com and WordPress and so on, they solved this one problem, but they revealed the next problem, the next big problem. And the next big problem is attention. 1% of superblogs get 99% of attention. And their content doesn't warrant that kind of attention. Their content is mediocre, they're safe, it's vapid. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? The truly great content that I find, that I read, I find on small blogs written by individuals like yourselves. Tinu, for example. All right? So, the next big problem is the problem of attention. Big sites have it, we don't, we need to grab it. Where's the opportunity? By the way, I'm not going to rest until each and every individual author has the distribution power that rivals that of Huffington Post, or iTunes, or Amazon, or which are just really, imitating the old publishing houses, right? The circulation and distribution and so on. The next big problem is each and every one of you needs to have the same amount of distribution power. Because until you don't, they control the conversation. They set the standard of what's being discussed, and they set the popular opinion. Okay, the opportunity. As content creators, there's this dogmatic practice and notion that the way to break in or break out or whatever is traffic plus ads. I'm here to tell you that that is so old school. All right? Traffic in business terms is a cost center. It eats up bandwidth. It eats up your server resources. Right? It's a total cost center. The whole ads thing, guys, you can't make money through ads. First of all, Google already makes money by advertising your content. Right? When you search for anything, the search page has like 3 sponsored ads on top, bunch of sponsored ads on the side, and you're competing with like 9 other posts for traffic. Right? Google has already monetized your content. So whatever ad money you manage to make by bringing traffic to your site is scraps. All right? So traffic plus ads is an old model. It's nothing innovative about it. Right? That's exactly what newspapers 50 years ago have done. Circulation, they just called it circulation, right? Plus ads in the newspaper equals money, right? The next big opportunity is in attention plus influence. If you can get attention without traffic, would you take it? I know I would. All right? Traffic is only good because it brings attention to us and our content, right? Oprah doesn't care about traffic. Oprah's content gets syndicated across hundreds of TV stations. Those TV stations record traffic. Oprah doesn't care about traffic. As long as you see her content, she's fine with it. Right? So perhaps the next opportunity is in attention. Perhaps the next opportunity is in you syndicating your content across hundreds of TV stations, blogs, whatever, right? I don't want to get off on a tangent and discuss influence because that would be a whole other topic, but I will recommend a book Robert Cialdini's influence, original work, very cool stuff. Most of the influence marketing books are really derivative works of Cialdini's influence. So go to the source, Robert Cialdini, influence. So really the point I'm trying to make is that traffic plus ads, it's old gods. Attention plus influence is new gods. We need to get ourselves some new faith. Forget traffic, forget ads. All right? The methodology by which we're going to get there has already been established many times before. All right? I'll bring up Russia and America. When America was deploying telephonic infrastructure here, Russia was deploying a PA system over there. Think about that for a second. PA system. Someone in Kremlin gets on the PA system and talks into a microphone, school principal style, so that everybody in Russia can hear it. Right? This kind of monolithic hierarchical structure leads to one of two things, sometimes both, oppression and uprise. It's one of those two. It's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, in the United States, a telephonic infrastructure enabled peer-to-peer communication. One empire fell, the other one didn't. Coincidence? Hardly. Another example is Napster. Napster destroyed, obliterated the record industry monopoly on distribution and music and entertainment. They did it by enabling peer-to-peer exchange of said entertainment. I love it. They didn't deserve it in the first place. They abused it, right? In Greek mythology, you don't have to be a Greek scholar to know this. If you saw The Wrath of Titans, you'd know this. Like, in the movie, Zeus talks to this other guy, and he, the gods of Olympus lost their power. And Zeus explains why. He says, because people stopped praying to us. And that's a powerful concept. Gods will lose power once we stop praying to them. So instead of looking up, we start looking peer-to-peer. We start looking laterally. So the methodology by which we're going to get there is twofold. One, we stop praying to the gods of the blogosphere. We stop paying attention to sites like Huffington Post and Mashable, and name a big site in your niche. Insert big name site here. We stop looking at those sites. We take back the control of the conversation. We ignore and we don't share. There's already a movement afoot that does exactly that. Dr. Spin. Jerry Swiffer from Sweden. What up, dude? All right. He wrote this great post about exactly this. The other thing is by looking peer-to-peer, by looking laterally, by looking to your right and to your left, and sharing and empowering and paying attention to the left and to the right. The new face of the Groundswell is you if you want to be. Thank you.